how are you? So today I want to go over a couple books that I have never finished reading. It's either a standalone or a book in a series. And I'm really sad that I've never finished some of these. I have not finished them for various reasons, and most likely all of them I will go back and finish in the future, but they're ones that I made pretty significant progress with and then just stopped. So here we go. So exciting. Number 1, The Help. I loved the film for this. But for some reason, I just couldn't get into the books. I don't know, the characters felt different to me. I got about 5 or 6 chapters in and it just was not, I was having to force myself to read it. So I really want to come back and read this in the future though, because I love the film so much. Next, which I've gotten so much hate from my little cousins for, is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and any Percy Jackson book at all. I don't know why, because this series is so fun. And just from what I know online and from the movies and stuff, I know the movies, I know. I really like the characters. They seem like so fun. And I don't know why. I've literally tried reading this like 3 different times and I only get, how far do I get? I'm gonna keep coming back to this and eventually I will finish it. Number 3 is The Lovely Bones. Let me start off by saying that the movie creeped me out. I might have been too young to finish it because I read it several years ago. I don't know if I'm gonna come back and finish this one or not. I don't know. I'm torn on that one. Next is Game of Thrones. I know that the books are better than the show. I've seen the first season of the show. I'm so behind. Wow. So many people have told me to actually read the books, and I've tried 2 different times, and I get to chapter what? What is this? I get to the first chapter of Bran. I don't know what that means, but that's as far as I get. What page is this? Page 14. Next is The Diviners. I've heard this from several different people that they can't get into this story, and it seems so cool. It's such a neat premise. It's just, I don't know if it doesn't flow well. I just find myself skimming the entire thing. Like, I'm not really picking up on many details. I don't know. Number 6 is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I feel like this is like, everyone should have read this book as a rite passage of childhood or something. I didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. I tried reading this last summer and maybe I don't think I was it's such a small book. Why couldn't I finish this? I could actually finish this in like an hour. Number 7 is Bigger Than My Head. Literally. Stephen King, Under the Dome. This is the first Stephen King that I tried to read, and I got about 4 chapters in. It's such a huge freaking book, and I still really want to read this. I think that I started reading it whenever I had like a lot of schoolwork, and I just kind of forgot about it, and then it just ended up on a shelf, so I really want to come back and read this, and I want to read more Stephen King in the future. Next is Eragon. Am I saying that right? We have the box set because my parents freaking love the fact that a teenager basically wrote this, so they got it. They're like, hey, yeah, you should do that too. And I will. Eventually. This is another series so many like family members and different people have told me that I have to read, and I want to. I've tried to read Eragon 3 different times. Fantasy is one of my least favorite genres. Maybe that's why I can't get into Game of Thrones either. I feel like it takes so much time you have to learn the world and you have to learn all the specifics about it before you can even get into the plot of the story. Some people love that, that's great, but that's just not what I enjoy reading. To me, that feels like work instead of reading. Next is Days of Blood and Starlight. I love the first book. Oh, the way this book is written is so great. It takes work to get like through the first 200 pages, and once you hit that mark, you're like, oh my god, I have to finish this now. And I think the problem is that I just didn't get to that mark yet, and I just kind of put it away, and I'm like, I'll come back to this later. I want to finish the series. I think it's so creative. I really, really love it. I just need the time to sit down and work through it. Finally, I love the series of Inkheart. I think it's one of the most creative stories ever. But I could never get into Ink Death. Oh, and I'm so mad that I can't get into this because I want to know what happens at the end of the story. What I really need to do is start back at Inkheart and go through it and finish this. I think that the thing is that we listened to the books on tape for the first 2 books whenever I was younger, and then I tried to read this whenever it came out, and I think I was just too young to get into it. But I will definitely be actually reading this one of these days because I want. So yeah, those are some books that I have not finished, but will, hopefully, in the future. So yeah. This is always such an awkward way to end it. I don't know how to end these things. We're gonna go with an old classic.